Hi everyone, this is Bronislava from HandMadeRukodelky, and we are going to be knitting one front at a time, so two fronts. But this is a introduction to a couple of my fronts, and let me show it to you. I have three fronts in here. Maybe you remember when I did this one front. Let me go and show it to you this way because he wants me to pet him. I have another dog which is a female. So this is the front that I did first. Okay, then I did this. Now I did this front as a second one, and I realized there are two different color lots. So then I did this front to match it. Okay, but then I knitted my back, if you remember, and this one actually matches my very first front. So what I need to do now is knit one more front that is gonna match these two, and I will have to frog these two fronts. Oh, really crazy, right? These two fronts to for another project, but we will be working on one of the fronts today, and actually I'm going to edit the video now because I haven't done that yet, and then I will edit another one. So so that's it. So let's go and knit, okay? Cast on 20 stitches. I am casting on with long tail. It's my favorite cast on. And I will knit 50 rows. That means that I will knit only in a knit stitch, and which is called garter stitch. So I will knit my vest in a garter stitch style. And right now I'm showing you how to knit English style, and shortly I will switch to my preferred knitting, which I learned as a child, which is continental style. I knit much faster that way. And this is continental style knitting. Okay, and I'm knitting every single stitch, just knit. I do knit stitches on the right side and knit stitches on the wrong side. Now we will turn and we will continue, and this is my second row. After I finish my second row, I will knit 48 more rows. You may choose your own length from underarm to the bottom of your vest. You can do a very long vest, you can do short vest, you know, that reaches into the into your waist. You can do whatever you want. I knitted 50 rows, and my 51st row is about decreasing for my V shape, and also binding off for my underarm. So first I will bind off 2 stitches for my underarm. So first knit 2 stitches, and then the back stitch, slip it over the first front stitch, and then do this one more time, knit 1 stitch, and slip that back stitch over the front stitch, and you decreased or bind off 2 stitches. Now I will knit until my last 3 stitches. So just knit all the stitches except the last 3 stitches. When you get to your last 3 stitches, you will want to slip, slip, and knit 2 together, okay, and then knit your last stitch. And we decreased for our V shape, and you probably would like to go and make put a marker over here, a piece of yarn or any of your markers if you have at home, so you know this is where you decreased for your V shape. Okay, as you see, I put marker in here in my row where I decreased for my V. Okay, and I will knit now, so I knitted 1 row and I will knit 5 more rows. So just knit 5 more rows. Okay, so after I decreased, I knitted 5 more rows, which means total 6 rows. Okay, when I finish over here where I bind it off for my underarm, you should have 6 rows. From the marker you should have 1, 2, 3 of these wavy designs. Okay, so this was my row where I decreased for V and where I bind it off. So you have 1, 2, 3 wavy lines, and you have yarn on this side where you bind it off for your underarm. Okay, and now we will knit entire row until 3 last stitches, and we will decrease for our V shape again. Okay, so just knit all the stitches until you have 3 stitches left on your needle, and then we will do another decrease. So this is our first row. Okay, now we will do the decrease, so we will again slip, slip, and knit 2 together and knit last stitch. So we did 1 row and we will do 5 more rows, which is total 6 rows. And you can go and mark this again, put a marker right here again, so you know that that was your row where you decreased. And I will do the same. I am finished with my 6 rows, all 6 rows, and I have 1, 2, 3, these 3 wavy rows right here. So that means that I did what I needed to do, that I did not do 1 less row or 1 more row. Okay, and I am back again at my beginning where I basically bind it off for my underarm, and I'm ready to decrease again. Okay, and I will do this 6 times, altogether 6 times. So this is going to be my 3rd time. So I will knit all the way to last 3 stitches. And again I will slip, slip, and knit these together. okay, and knit last stitch. Let me show it to you actually in English style, and I will put my stitches how they usually are. Okay, so imagine that I just knitted to my last 3 stitches, and now with English style we will slip, slip, put it back on the needle, okay, and knit, okay, and then knit our last stitch. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now I will put my marker here again. We'll put marker here, and I will knit 5 more rows, which actually is, including this row, it's 6 rows, okay? So now I will knit 5 more rows, and I will end up back over here after 5 more rows. As you see, I'm ready to do another decrease in this row, because I'm finished with my 6 rows that I was supposed to do. So this is gonna be my first row, and then plus 5 more rows. But before I do knit 5 more rows, I will do another decrease on these 3 stitches, okay? And this is my 4th time, 1, 2, 3, and this is gonna be 4th time that I'm doing it. After I do it 4 times, I'll do it 2 more times, okay? And you might do the same if you are knitting from a very bulky yarn. So I will knit all the way to my 3 stitches, very good, and we will do slip, slip, and put them back on this left needle and knit 2 together, and that's our decrease, and knit this stitch, and I will put my marker here that I finished my 4th decrease. And now I will knit 5 more rows before I do the decrease. Okay, and I'm not gonna go and show you those 2 more decreases. You can do that on your own. Okay, just mark it like I am marking my decreases, and count your rows. Don't make any mistakes. And when I'm finished with my 6th decrease, we will continue knitting together. So try to do those 2 more decreases on your own, okay? I am finished with my 6 decreases for my V shape in a vest, okay? And I finished my 6th decrease and then knitted 5 more rows. So my first row was where I decreased, plus 5 rows, total 6 rows. So basically decreases are done every 6th row, okay? I decided that I need to add 4 more rows over here to accommodate my arm opening. If you have arm opening that is bigger than mine, for example, then you can do decreases in here every 8th row instead of every 6th row, okay? And then you would have these wavy rows between each of these markers. You would have 4 of them, and that you would extend or lengthen this area, okay? But at the moment I will add 4 more rows in here to accommodate my arm opening, and then I will bind off for my shoulders. I knitted 4 more rows, okay? So before I had 6 rows after I did the decrease, and I added 4 more rows. I am ready to bind off for my shoulders, and I said that I will bind off in 6 and then 6 again. So let me show it to you first, English style. So we will knit first 2 stitches, okay, and then we will pull the back stitch over the front stitch, and we will knit. So that's 1, okay, now we will do second one and third, and don't make those stitches too tight, okay. So that's 3. This is our 4th. That's 4, 5, and 1 more, 6. And if you do that right, you should have, if you're knitting with same stitches like I did, you should have 6 stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stitches left. And now we will knit 2 rows. So we will finish this row and then we will go back. Now we will go back. This is our second row, okay, and now we will finish binding off our shoulder, so it's kind of in an angle, okay. So we will bind off, and I will show it to you in continental style. You just knit and then you pull over the back stitch over the front stitch. You knit that stitch, and then pull it over, and this is our last bind off. And now you need to make a knot, and we will cut off our yarn. I'm finished with front part number 1, okay, and now I will be editing my front part number 2, so watch out for it. Also, don't forget to check out my back of the vest, okay, that's already online, and that's it. So I just want to tell you again, thank you very much for watching my videos. Subscribe, share my videos, click on those links below the video, and I will see you another time. You always want me to pet you, huh? You want me to scratch your back, you love it. Okay, oh my gosh, you are in heaven, you're in heaven, you are in heaven. Oh, you won't leave me alone now.